Welcome to Internet Quality Academy. The channel is for the quality control engineer, site engineer, and the civil engineer who are working in the construction field. In this channel, we are dealing with anything and everything which is required to get success in the construction. Today also, I'm going to discuss about a very important topics of the construction or the quality control, that is quality management of the construction material. How we will manage the quality of the material, because if we are not managing the quality of the material, the end product or the end product will be a non-conform product, so it will not be as per the requirement. So it is very important to manage the quality or maintain the quality of the material. So how can we do that one? In this video I will discuss each and everything, so stay tuned until the end to get the full information. And if you are new in my channel, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get immediate notification. So without wasting time, let's jump into the subject: material quality management in construction. Why it is required? Because without the material it is impossible to finish the product or finish the projects. We need material each and every stage of the construction, but if the material is not as per the requirement, then product non-conformity will happen. That means the end product will not meet the client or the customer requirement, which means our quality will be deteriorated and it will be not accepted by the client or the consultant. So our purpose will not be solved. That is why it is very much important to maintain the material quality or material quality management in construction. First, what we need to know: in order to quality management on the material, we first need to select the right kind of material. First we need to select the material. What How we can select the material? There are three things. First, we need to understand the project specification, then we need to supplier selection, then sample approval. How we can that one? First is understanding the project specification. Carefully review the project specification and design document to determine the types and the grades of materials required. This includes materials like cement, aggregate, steel, bricks, blocks, and admixture. So in the specification, it is mentioned what grade of concrete, M30, M40, M50, whatever it is mentioned. What grade of bricks, what is the material property of aggregate or sand, whatever it is mentioned. What is the steel grade, what is the dia of the steel, that is all mentioned in the specification. So it is our duty to read the specification and the design document and list it down, what is the material is required and what is their criteria. See, if we have the M50 grade of concrete, so my requirement grade of concrete M50, characteristics stain, there is the M50, then the slump, then the temperature, then the durability, whatever it is to be mentioned one by one. That means I have find out up details document what is the my project specification. So now whenever I complete my reading the carefully the project specification and find out what is my requirement, then we need to select the supplier, because we are not producing each and everything. We need to purchase the material either from the supplier or from the manufacturer. Now we need to select the right kind of supplier for our product, otherwise again it will be a product non-conformity. So how we can select the supplier? Select a reputable supplier who can provide materials that meet the specific standard. Ensure that the supplier has history of delivering quality materials and can provide relevant certifications and test report. That means we need to select the supplier who has the experience, who has would have done the work of the similar volume, so that our product will be the same as per our requirement. So we need to select the right kind of material, right kind of supplier. Then we need to do the sample approval. After project specification understanding, we need to know what is my requirement, then we need to select the right kind of supplier, then sample approval. Obtain sample of all materials for pre-approval. These samples should be tested in laboratory to confirm the meet the required specification. Keep approved sample on site for comparison during material deliveries. Now we need to do the sample approval. For that, what we can do? We can take the manufacturer test certificate, or we can do the third party test. Like we want to do the approval for the reinforcement. Now they have the material test certificate, but at the same time we can send it to the third party laboratory for the chemical and the physical properties, and if it is matching with the requirement, then we can select this material or select the steel. So this way we can select the material, that understanding project specification, supplier selection, and then sample approval. And how to do the material approval request for all this process, I have made a detailed video, link is there or in the description. Please check, you will get full information about how to do the material approval request. The first part is done, that is material selection. The next part is receiving material on site. Now, next first part, we have select the supplier, select the material. Now, after giving the purchase order, it will come to the site. Now, what we need to do, we need to check whenever it is arrival at site. So inspection on arrival, whenever the material is coming at the site or delivered to the site, we need to do the inspection, conduct a visual inspection of materials upon delivery, look for obvious defects such as cracks, corrosion, or damage during transit. Check the packaging and labels to ensure they match the order specifications. So I have the purchase order, and when the material is coming, you have to check that whether the same kind of material is arriving at site or not, or whether they have the verification document, that is MTC, is there or not. If it is okay with our project specification, then we can say that this material is as per requirement and it can be unloaded at the site. Then verification against purchase order, that already discussed. Cross-check the delivered materials with the purchase order or the material requisition form. Verify quantities, types, grades, and material receipts. Then material testings. Now we need to do the material testing whenever it is coming at the site as per the project requirement or as per the IS code. Collect random samples from the delivered batch and send them from the laboratory testing. These test material or specify correct parameters such as the relevant Indian standard. Common test include cement, aggregates, and steel. Whatever the material is coming, whatever the common test, it is in the mention in the IS code or it is mentioned in the specification, that we need to perform whenever the material is coming at the site. Then coming is the second part, that is documentation. Ensure all material delivered are documented. Record the date of receipt, quantity, supplier details, and test result in the material quantity control log. So this all has to perform whenever the material is coming at the site. So it is called the material inspection request. So what is material inspection request? How to do that one? I have made a detailed video. Please, link is there or in the description. You will get full information about the material inspection at site. So after material selection, we have received the material and we have checked. Now the next part is storage and handling of material. It is very much vital. Most of the cases it is saying that the product or whatever delivered at the site as per the requirement, but for the poor handling, this material get deteriorated. So it is very much important to storage the material or handling the material as per the requirement. So designated storage area, first we need to confirm. Store material as per IS code, it is mentioned in that what will be the storage areas, what will be the shade, what will be the thickness of the farm ground, and how much from the ground it should be kept, if it is in a steel or if it is in a cement. So that all need to be as per IS code. So store materials in designated areas that are clean, dry, and protected from the elements. For example, cement stored in a dry and moisture-free environment, or raised platform. Steel stored in the ground to avoid rustings and covered with tarpaulins or protect from rain. Aggregates, keep different aggregates and separate bins to avoid contamination. So these are the things that whenever it is material is storage into the site, it should be as per the requirement, so that whenever we are working at the site, we are getting the right kind of material. It is not deteriorate. Then proper handling procedures. So in this, from the storage you need to transport to the site. Now how we can handle it, that is also very much important. If it is a poor handling, then again it will be deteriorate the product quality. So what will happen? Implement proper handling procedure to prevent damage. For instance, avoid dropping steel bars from a height to protect bending, and handling cement bags carefully to prevent spillage. So then first is material selection, next is receiving material at site, then storage and handling of materials. The next part is in process quality control. Now, what is in process quality control? That is whenever the work procedure is continuing into the site, that time we need to check the material quality itself. So that means, giving just an example, the batching of concrete, that on-site testing and inspection during placement. Ensure that the concrete batching is carried out as per the mix design, monitor the water cement ratio, and ensure that the correct proportions of aggregate cement and admixture are used. Then on-site testing, that conduct regular on-site tests to ensure that the quality of material remains consistent during the construction process. For example, slump test, cube test, and river testing. Then inspection during placement. So inspect material during the placement to ensure that they are used correctly. For example, check the concrete is properly vibrated to eliminate voids and that the formwork is clean before pouring concrete. So it is also important that material selection, material inspection at site, storage and handling. Then whenever it is working at the site, that is in process quality control, that time also we need to check whether that material are using as per the requirement or not, and every things whatever mentioned in the material handling data sheet, that is mentioned or not, in order to get the right kind of material. So that is in process control. And what is in process checklist, and then pre-process and post-process, I have made a detailed video, link is there or in the description, you will get full information. Next part is post construction material evaluation. So after finish the concrete, or sorry, not in the concrete, after finishing the work, now we need to check the final testing. So what is the final testing? Just to take an example, after construction, perform final testings on the structure such as co-cutting, compression strength of concrete, and rebound hammer test, etc., in order to verify that whatever we have done as per the requirement. Then documentation and reporting. Comply all test report, inspections records, and material correct certificates into a final quality report. Test report should be submitted to the relevant authorities or project stakeholder for review. And then non-conformance management. So we have take all the precaution, but again it can happen this non-conformity. So whenever this non-conformity happen, so how we will do that? If any material are found to be non-compliant with the project specification, document the non-conformance and take corrective action. This might include replacing the material, modifying the construction process, or retesting. So if we find anything that is non-conformance or not as per the requirement, immediately it has to remove from the site and it is to replace with the right kind of material. So how the non-conformance management also is there, that is also a very important part for the material quality management. The next part is continuous improvement and feedback. Why continuous improvement and feedback is important? Because whatever the process we are following, whatever the work we are doing, that is a continuous process, and we need to every time need to redefine the process in order to get the more product, like the product conformity for the customer satisfaction. So create a feedback loop, implement a feedback loop where lesson learned from material quality controls are documented and shared with the team. This will help improve future projects. So always whatever the lesson learned, that should be documented and that should be circulated to each and everyone, so it will help for the future projects. Then supplier performance review. It is very much important that you need to review a performance for the supplier. Regularly review the performance of supplier based on the quality materials delivered and mark adjusted as necessary to the supplier list. So if you find anything that you need to address immediately, and you have to inform to the supplier and they have to address this issue in order to get the right kind of material. Then training. It is very much important to conduct the training. Conduct training session for site engineer, supervisor, and workers to ensure they understand the importance of material quality control and familiar with the best practice. So these are the things about the continuous improvement and feedback. So let's summarize what is the quality management of material in construction. First is material selection, then receiving material on site, storage and handling of material, in process quality control, post construction material evaluation, and continuous improvement and feedback. And I hope you find it useful. And if you find it useful, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get immediate notification. And I'm waiting for your valuable comments, so that from your valuable comment, everybody will be benefited. And if you want to know anything more about quality control and construction, please let me know. I will come with more content like this. And thank you once again for watching me.